This week it's the Mugello test, Mark Webber, rumours about his future, and Fernando Alonso on Ferrari's charge for the 2012 title. This is the Lewis Round F1 update. Reports this week circulating around Spain has suggested that Mark Webber has signed a pre-contract agreement with Ferrari for a short-term deal, and then in 2014 Sergio Perez would come into the fold. However, he's been speaking with reporters at the Mugello track and he has denied that any of this has happened. He quoted to say, "There's a whole season ahead of us before we need to think about the future. One day the talk is about Jenson Button joining Ferrari, then it's Sergio, now it's me. I haven't signed anything." He said, "My focus is on this team. We've had a good start to the season. We're only 4 races down and the road is very, very long before we can start talking about the future." Speculation linking Webber with Ferrari is now neither new nor likely to disappear in the coming months. Felipe Massa is under huge amounts of pressure. Fernando Alonso and Webber would provide an experienced and steady hand on the for Ferrari if he was brought in 2013. It looks as though Massa isn't going to be signed, given a contract extension for 2013. So it would be, I believe, Ferrari would be interested in signing the Australian. Now, another reason why this could make sense that Mark Webber would join Ferrari is because Ferrari is a very attractive team to join in Formula 1. Throughout its history, it's attended every single F1 event. The titles with Michael Schumacher, the passion that comes with the Italian team, it's very hard for any driver to turn that down. Now the fact that Mark Webber's 35, it would very much be a great sending off in the twilight of his career, joining Ferrari and then retiring perhaps at the end of 2013. Well, as I said in the introduction, the F1 teams have been testing in season for the first time since 2008 at the Mugello track in Tuscany. A wonderful backdrop to the circuit, great circuit as well, a fan's favourite in MotoGP. Never hosted an F1 race, but it has a long straight. It's very good for testing. It's got good fast corners as well as slow ones as well, long sweeping corners. Quite similar to perhaps a Barcelona track. Well, on day one yesterday, Fernando Alonso was quickest, although it didn't really matter the timesheets as it rained throughout the day. But today it's been a lot better so far, dry running, and it's Romain Grosjean, the Lotus driver, who's posted the fastest lap so far. The teams have been trying to catch up on lost time from yesterday, and they've been showing off their aero sensors, but Grosjean still posted a more than handy 1 minute 21.603 early in the session, as he made the most of the extra running. The Frenchman was only originally meant to be driving on Thursday, but Lotus have scrapped the plans for Kimi Raikkonen to test on Wednesday, with the Finn now sitting out the entire test. Red Bull's Mark Webber, who will be replaced by his teammate Sebastian Vettel for the afternoon session, he set the second fastest time with 1:21.997, while Felipe Massa of Ferrari a further 0.2 or 0.2 off Webber's pace. Toro Rosso's Jean-Luc Vergne and Sauber's Kamui Kobayashi, they the 4th and 5th fastest. Michael Schumacher with Mercedes, they've been trying to get as many laps through today as possible, and they've completed the most laps so far, completing 74 laps, but they are down to 6th place, obviously not focusing on performance. McLaren's Gary Pavitt, he was 2 seconds off the fastest time, and finally Fernando Alonso. He's adamant that he's not giving up on the world title, despite many trials facing Ferrari and their F2012. Now, Ferrari is set to introduce a heavy upgrade to the car, most notably at the rear. And although Alonso admits Ferrari are having a tough time of it, the double world champion insists they will not give up on this season. The championship is proving to be a real battle, but even if it's tough, the aim is still to win, said Alonso. Every sportsman has a strong spirit of competition within him, which means you can never give up. While the work that everyone is doing around you is also important, an obligation is always to give 100%. The Spaniard has also spoke of his love for Ferrari, saying that when one spends so much time with them, the team becomes your family, and I feel right at home here. After 4 Grand Prix, Alonso is currently lying 5th in the Drivers' Championship, but only 10 points behind the leader. It's showing you how close it is. Vettel, this time last year, was over 70 points clear from his nearest rival. I think with the Spanish crowd, that'll add a bit of extra motivation for Alonso. But I think still, even though with the upgrades, I still think they'll be slightly behind the front runners. So please check www.lewisroundf1.co.uk for all the latest news, gossip and reactions. The website's back up now. Lewis Round F1 on Facebook and Twitter as well. I'll be back next week as always, but until then, have a great week.